You were tuned in to episode 152, 152, the Goodfellas podcast. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. Got my main man with me, VP Shane. What's going on, bro? Happy New Year to you. You on mute, baby.
Sorry. Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Good to see you. Good to be back, man.
Yes, sir. And I got my main man with me, BoxingFirstVlog. What is going on, good brother?
Oh man, looking like I'm about ready to do a highway robbery in 2023. You know what I mean? Trying to get the bag. Incognito. But it's good to be back though. Extra busy, man. So life take you in different directions. We still family, and we get together and chop it up. So I'm here. Let's do it.
Absolutely, man. My guy Michael Johnson in the building, man, said what up, man. Big shout out to Michael Johnson, man. Be showing mad love on the daily, man. Big shout out to Michael Johnson for sure. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend, too, man, doing big things. He'll be in here in a minute. I gotta post this, but he had an interview with Darnell Boone. I think people need to check out. And he had one with Jamel Herring that I think people need to check too. So big shout out to him for the work that he's doing. Man, we ain't gonna waste no time, man. Let's get right into it, man. It's fight week. Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia. We got Andrade on the card. We got Boots on the card. We got Rashidi Ellis on the card. The card is absolutely stacked. But I want to let Vlog get things started because it was some stuff that he heard. You know what I'm saying? Just in the airways. So we want to get this up and out the way real quick. Vlog, give it to him, bro.
Well, first let me comment. The first thing about this card, bro, as a everyday Joe that I am, I ain't balling or nothing like that. I think they having it at the wrong time, bro. Do they not realize like people just came off the holidays, people just paid mortgage, turn around, got paid car notes, things like that. They should have put this off to maybe later towards the end of the month, give people some time to recover. Most people check to check type of people, give people time to bounce back, get a free check or something like that. Like, I just think it's happening at the wrong time, especially for it to be $100. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. This ain't no $40 fight card, bro. This $100. The date, I just disagree with the date. You know what I mean?
Didn't PBC do something similar to this last year with Charles Martin and Ortiz? That was a $40 pay-per-view in January also. And I remember the year before that.
That's reasonable, though. That's reasonable if you're going to go.
I'm just saying that PBC are used to doing pay-per-views at the start of the year. They also done one with Adrian Broner and Pacquiao. That was at the beginning of the year also.
Too.
So they're no strangers to that,
Yeah, I don't know the strategy. I don't know the business strategy behind that. But in boxing, from a business standpoint, they like to stay away from fights in December anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's traditionally how they run it. But PBC they've been doing it the past couple years, so I don't know.
That's not true. They haven't stayed away fights in December. It would be early fights because they've given us birthday fights. They've given me birthday fights for the past couple years. December 5th, that's early in the month. So
that's fine.
I get that, but we didn't get that. We're getting it now, right after the holidays, literally right after the holidays. Come on now. Ain't nobody recovered in a week.
But this is the third straight year they've done that, though.
I'm just trying to tell them, bro, that they not being economically intelligent when they understand like the recovery ratio. People spend a lot of money during this time of year. So nobody's sitting around like, you know what I mean? Yo, I saved this $100 for this pay-per-view that I didn't know was happening. They didn't tell me a month ago about this pay-per-view. You see what I'm saying? You sprung this on people. Yeah. So I don't know how financially feasible it's going to pay off. Just saying. I pay mortgage, you know what I mean? Pay car notes. So the timing just seemed a bit off. But that's me. You know what I mean? But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing that people is thinking that this dude Tank could beat Crawford. Tank got the power, you know what I mean? A lot of waves from different other boxing media venues that I've seen, and I think it's an interesting fight in all actuality. I ain't gonna lie. I think physically he got the power thing with most people that's not 40 pounds bigger than him, but 15, 20 pounds. I think he could rock with some of these dudes power wise. Now Crawford is a different story. And then if you don't get the super fight with Spence, I actually think that fight up makes sense financially too.
Can you tell them some of the publications you heard that from?
Boxing Face, who I'm really not a big fan of, but what I mean, I gave him a second when I seen that clip that got on the Instagram. So I got to thinking about it just from my own perspective, and I thought it kind of makes sense from a boxing fan too. I like it. Makes y'all saying there's nothing in it for Crawford, off camera y'all said that, but I think financially it makes sense, especially when Crawford hasn't really received these super, paydays type of fights. He just got one, obviously, with beating up the European dude. So we'll see if we can get another one. Big name, obviously, is a fight y'all saying he should win, but I think Tank gives himself a puncher's chance against anybody, especially somebody that's not extremely bigger than him.
Shane, are you entertaining? That?
Not really, no. I don't think there's a point.
Financially, the one thing I will agree with, financially it'll be huge.
It's like, for me, I just feel like it's just a reflection of where boxing is, bro.
Yeah, and I think we get caught up in. I got my man Ty Finney in the building, man. I got a full boat. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to you. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Salute to everybody, man. Glad to come on.
What's up with you, bro?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, we're just in here chopping up vlog. Say there's some people saying that Tank could beat Crawford or knock out Crawford. Said it was Boxing Voice. Who else you said it was, Vlog?
I think I seen a comment from Black Fight Fan. You know what I mean? It's just a couple people that obviously that was in the comments section. Speaking they 1-2s. I didn't read everything, but I kind of listened to the clip. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of that dude, but this topic is interesting to me. So I had to bring it to the folks and see what the fellas was thinking.
A legend, Tank Crawford. Does that fight make just initial thoughts you hear Tank Crawford?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was hearing.
Why do y'all say that? Hold on. Before you dig into that, why just off top do you feel like that's not cool when we've had historical fights where cats has won 2 divisions and pulled these upsets and made history? Tank not somebody that can pull that off. It's basically 2 divisions, 140, 147. Come on, now we know he already fighting at 40 and fighting good. You know what I mean? Barrios was solid competition at 40 and he did extremely well. Took some damage, fought back, on the card, so we know he has the power that could turn fights around. So I just see why I don't see why y'all right off top disagreeing with that, bro. Like, that's crazy to me. And y'all intelligent boxing fans, y'all don't think this dude, who we know is probably one of the top 3 pound for pound punches in the game. Fuck the division, but just power punches, he's in the top 3. You can give me 2 other dudes better than him, Boots, maybe a heavyweight. I'm saying, but come on now. I don't know. So, but go ahead, chime in, legend. I didn't mean cut you off, but I just found that where y'all just.
Well, we know that Tank, he blows up in weight sometimes. Sometimes he don't make weight on it on the scale, and sometimes he does look heavier. So, I mean, it's an option that could possibly happen, but I just never crossed my mind about them 2 though. But I know him and Conor Ben were trading some words though.
Yeah.
Conor Ben is still out the picture right now, right?
Conor Ben is working a cashier at the GNC right now. So
I mean, what would you say is the difference between Tank saying what he was saying and Gary Russell saying what he was saying when it came to Crawford?
I thought both of them was foolish. To be honest with you, I will say this though. Um, it's more so from Bud's end. The traditional thinking of a person going up 2 weight classes or a weight class to go see somebody. We've seen that in boxing. Like we're not gonna sit up here and act like that's never happened. Like we've definitely seen that before. From Bud's end, it's just outside of him getting paid, it's a no win. So if he loses, they're gonna say he lost to the small dude. If he wins, they're gonna say he beat up the little dude. If he struggles, they're gonna say that he struggled with the small dude. And then on top of that, he fought Tank, but he didn't fight Spence. He fought Tank, but he didn't fight Boots. It's a lot of negatives with that. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Hold up. So y'all basically saying Bud would not take this fight or not even consider this fight because of pundits such as ourselves, but pundits that disagree or see negativity in it. Like I don't think that would be a reason that somebody would be like, nah, because they're gonna say this and they're gonna say that. If it's financially feasible and a serious opponent across the ring, this is not like Colbert coming up to 147 trying to challenge Bud. Like this a real puncher over here. This is a scrappy dude and an intelligent fighter at that, who obviously we know has had some weight issues, so he could probably be comfortable at 47 real easy. Just especially a one-time situation.
But Bud takes the fight, but it still don't change anything I said though. He still gets all that criticism. He gets all of it.
He don't get it from me. I wouldn't give it to him.
Why don't he?
Because I rate Tank as a serious contender, even jumping up, because historically I seen it done and it be pulled off by guys that say like take a Bernard Hopkins before his accolades. They started giving him his accolades. They never gave him his accolades. Nobody gave him a chance to beat Kelly Patton. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
I haven't done this in a while because we ain't been on the screen in a while. But I'm a kind of meet vlog in the middle of the street. Let me throw this scenario out here for you, vlog, because you pretty adamant about this. In this scenario, if Bud had an option of fighting Tank or Boots and he picks Tank, I think you're on the screen going crazy.
Oh yeah, but that's not an option. That's not an option. Boots right now they're not even considering Boots. I guarantee you he'll consider Tank before he considers Boots. Because in his mind, Tank is a guy he could beat. Like y'all all saying he should beat Tank. So in his mind, I should beat Tank. Go ahead, Shane, talk to me.
Do you know what, again, what? I mean, after I'm not really talking. Normally, I speak my opinion as much as possible. But in a topic like this, bro, it's real sad, bro. Like, I'm a boxing enthusiast and a boxing person who loves the sport of boxing. The fact that the topic at hand is Tank and Crawford is just a negative reflection of where boxing is, bro. Like, I just feel like the fact that genuine boxing people outside of ourselves are taking out their time to entertain something, for one, will never happen. It won't happen. And then for two, it's almost trying to make something out of nothing. You know, it's like a paparazzi moment. I just don't, like, there isn't an ounce of interest in Crawford versus Tank. Not in any level. Like, if it was a fantasy fight, if they were talking about who would win at 135 when Crawford was at 135 or Tank at 135, cool, we can have that conversation. But if we're saying them to actually fight, I don't see the purpose in it. Bro,
So that's
Hey,
basically
said on
saying
this, I
you're
don't think it's fair,
hold up. You're saying you never seen the purpose in anybody jumping up weight and taking on a challenge. You've never seen a purpose in that. That doesn't make any sense to you. Like that to me,
This one doesn't. I don't think so. When you see these things
I
happening when they go up
mean,
2 weight
I'm
classes,
weirded out by y'all's replies. Like
I,
just like
I don't
I
know.
can
I
understand
don't know
saying,
how.
hold on. Let me land real quick. I can understand y'all saying, "Oh, I ain't got a high interest in that." But if it happened, I'm gonna tune in. I want to see, you know what I mean, how Bud handles somebody with so powerful, like that's so powerful, young speed. Like I as a boxing IQ thing, like you would think, let me just see. Like I believe he's going to whitewash him, but y'all didn't even say that. Y'all just like half up that shit. I'm weirded out by that reply. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be a historical fight. That probably be the greatest upset in boxing history. Bigger than Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson or anything of that ilk. So I'm weirded out. I'm weirded. I'm done.
Hey, let me ask something though. But how you know Tank will move up? I mean, don't they need to meet at a certain weight? Not just Tank moving up. I mean, Crawford gonna have to meet him somewhere too.
That's why.
Again,
you know what I mean?
catch weight. You talking like 145. I mean, something like that. And then even 140 is makeable by a dude of Tank's stature. He has the width that can carry extra weight. He might not have height.
I'll meet you somewhere, Blunt. Let me tell you what I'll say, bro. If Tank beats Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and Crawford beats Boots and Spence, I wouldn't mind seeing a fight at 145. I would be much more interested.
So you want these dudes to go through 2 wars because
Clean
Garcia
up
ain't
your
gonna be
weight
an easy
class.
win.
Clean up your
I
weight
mean, I
class.
get what you're saying, but I get that point. But if these guys in your weight class aren't willing to make super fights, don't you, as a promoter, manager, as a fighter,
I disagree with that, though.
still have big fights?
I disagree with that because in Tank's case, bro, we know Devin Haney's wanted that work, and the Ryan Garcia fight's supposed to be happening. So, it's Tank being the problem in this situation. Devin Haney ain't running from Tank.
But I don't think Devin Haney's going to garner Crawford money. I don't think Ryan Garcia is going to garner Crawford money. Like
You can say that. You can say that, but at the end of the day, bro, like I'm not talking about from a money perspective. I'm not trying to justify this from a money perspective. I'm pretty sure a good money fight would be Canelo versus Wilder or Canelo versus Fury. But we're not talking. I'm just talking about the practicality.
This is practical because we're only talking a division, 2 divisions. This people made jumps like that. But in somebody of Tank's ilk, we're not talking about Tagu jumping up to fight Crawford. You know what I'm saying? We're not, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. I'm weirded out by y'all replies.
Vlog. This kind of goes against your traditional thinking. I think you ain't been on camera in a while. I think you showing off on me a little bit.
No, I think this is a historical opportunity. Like when I first saw it ticked me. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, what the fuck? But hold up, now that I think about it, my guy did it. I think it's plausible to me. It's more plausible than the 4 kings fighting each other and having a mini tournament at 135. I don't see that happening before I see Crawford and Spence agreeing to a deal just so he can say, I'm willing to fight people from PBC. I'm willing to fight stars at PBC. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
But still, I mean, we know that, Heyman and Crawford not on good terms. So I mean, don't you think if Tank jumps in there, don't you think it's going to be some issues with negotiations and all that? So I don't see it being happening. Just my thoughts, man.
I personally think Tank has, out of all those Heyman dudes, I think he would have more say so than, let's say, a Charlo or somebody of that ilk. You know what I mean? Even though they're a star in their own right, I don't think they really have that much control in their career as far as the lineup of fights like that. I think somebody of Tank's caliber would have more say so because he's been at the table and things like that, so he understands the design and more of the structure and the course of boxing and what boxing is. It's a payday situation. He's a mega star. He's not into fighting these Hector Guerrero type of guys. At some point, you got to give him another star quality of his ilk to make a super fight.
Can I ask you guys a question? Like, and I feel like I'm in the right place to ask it. You know, boxing fans seem exhausted. You see my point? Like, the whole I remember if all of you guys bring yourselves back 5 years ago, when we all wanted to see the Errol Spence Crawford fight, when we all wanted to see Wilder versus AJ fight, you know, we wanted to see Canelo take a big fight. You know, you look at, I can go on and on and on the fights that we didn't get to see, Charlo, Andrade, etc., etc., etc. This generation of boxing, whether it's Wilder, AJ, Crawford, Spence, Tank, Haney, well, not so much Tank, Haney, and Shakur, but that generation, this is almost you guys last year. You see my point? Like, we have to start seeing these fights because none of these dudes are getting any younger, but more importantly, boxing fans aren't getting any more interest. It's not like we're more interested in Spence and Crawford now than we were 2 years ago. It's almost going in reverse. And I feel like sometimes you can like with Floyd and Pacquiao, you know, you can miss that boat. You can miss the boat. Like, you can almost miss the boat where you can turn something into a historical trilogy. Like, whilst it was a historical fight financially, it's not going to go down in the history books as like a Ward Gatty or Leonard Hagler or anything like that. So that's my point, where I feel like, for me as boxing fans, I'm no longer even interested in trying to fight for a big fight. I actually had reached the stage of whatever I'm being given, I'm going to take. Because at this stage, that's basically what it is, bro. Like, whatever we're given, we have to take. So the Tank fight this week, I ain't really interested in the fight, but we just have to take it. There is no two ways about it.
Personally, I ain't going. I disagree with you on the interest of the fight. I'm interested, but with his caliber, I'm not, just to discredit Hector Garcia or whatever his last name is, the Spanish cat. He don't have a name. When you like what Tank is, and as you said, these dudes are getting older. You got to start having the same caliber, or at least close to your caliber across the ring, to where now you build on legacy and financial security, more financial security. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, again, and I don't think this fight gonna do numbers, bro. You're having it at the wrong time, bro. This fight not gonna do numbers. I don't care how loaded the card is. It's not gonna do numbers. It's at the wrong time of year, bro. Motherfuckers paid $1,700 mortgages and shit like that, bro. Fuck out of here.
Isn't Boots
Boots on it.
On
and
the
Boots
card
fighting, and he fighting against another guy. Oh, is this Boots' first pay-per-view? Jeff said he believes it is. Does anybody know for a fact?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it is. I think this is his first pay-per-view. Yeah.
And if this your first pay, don't you deserve a better name across the ring? At this point, you 30 and
No,
up.
the reason why he's not going to get a better name, though, bro, is because
it's because he's a monster.
As sad as it sounds, whilst it's on a pay-per-view, he's just a filler. Like, you need a name to boost the card. You need a name to boost the card, and he's a name that can boost the card. At the end of the day, the people who we want to see him against, whether it's the Crawfords, the Spences, the Ortiz, whoever we want to see him against, those fights are standalone fights by themselves. And the truth is,
I get it. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Boots is in a real awkward situation right now because he's putting pressure on these dudes. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to do self-reflection and realize, bro, these dudes ain't gonna fight you. So, like, at
Can I
some
ask a
stage,
question? Can I ask a question? Ain't Sheedy fighting at 147?
Rashidi Ellis.
So why can't we get Boots Sheedy Ellis? Why we
Hey,
can't get a fight like
hey,
that?
all right. I'll
That's
let you go, Joe.
something that I've heard like last year. I heard that fight last year. Like people talking about that fight last year.
I can directly speak on that. Sheedy was offered that fight. Sheedy did turn down that fight. But the way they're lining it up, Sheedy may not have no choice after this fight. If things don't pan out, if things don't pan out with Boots and Spence, and it just, let me get in these comments real quick before we get out the way. Shane Mike said he glad you put the rube away.
Right.
I like the rule. I like the rule. My man Tree James in the building. He said, laughing my ass off. Never. They smoking good gas. Michael Johnson, is possible that he can, but we will never see it. Historically wise, if we look back 20, 30, 40 years ago, this fight would have happened. Willie G, happy New Year's, fellas. Much success in the new year. Willie G, big shout out to you, bro. Just to touch on what you said, vlog, like, so when you talking Boots and it's like he's having a hard time finding guys to fight, it's funny how that's the case, but then nobody's putting pressure on Spence. Nobody's putting pressure on him.
This is like, I was having a real solid debate about someone the other day when they were talking about watching Errol Spence versus Thurman, which looks like the next fight, and I was like, that's not good enough for me.
It's not.
Like,
it's
that's
not.
good enough
When you said you would never give this dude a shot. So hold up. This leads me back to what I said earlier. These dudes don't. You right? Al Heyman controls these dudes. My point being, I think Tank has a little bit pull on his leash. You see what I'm saying? Like he could pull back on his leash. So I don't know. Okay.
I don't think it's like, even if he said he will never, even if he didn't say I'll never fight Thurman, reason why I don't feel like that's a good enough fight for me is because he is not the best available opponent. If you say
ice cold, bro, he ice cold,
bro, you're basically being a hypocrite, because I'll be 100% honest, bro. Thurman is no better than Avanesian. In terms of a level of opponent, bro, at the time and when Crawford fought Avanesian and the time and when Spence will fight Thurman, there's no difference, bro. There is no difference. Thurman is
ice cold in the streets. He's ice cold.
I agree with that. Yeah, Thurman, and he don't have, to me, the physical weapons that could really upset Spence. Not now. Maybe 5 years ago, his movement, things like that probably would have. He's not that same guy now. You know what I'm saying? So
Thurman 4 to 5 years ago. I think 4 to 5 years ago, I was going around saying Thurman would beat Spence 4 or 5 years ago. But I just don't see it now.
It would have been more of a challenge, though. I don't know. I can't agree with you from back then and say, yeah, he would have beat him. I thought it would have been more of a challenge. Like, okay, skill versus skill. We'll see, like, which one of these dudes is doing. This dude's skills are obviously depleted. When the last time he really put the hands on somebody and hurt somebody like that? So we know he's not going to do that against Spence. So what's your other options to really box? When have you done that lately?
And Errol Spence, let's be honest, Errol Spence has an opponent in Boots, and this is the thing. I know exactly what's going to happen, bro. I know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to end up fighting Stanionis after this fight. And at the end of the year, if he don't fight Thurman, he's gonna end up fighting. He's gonna end up fighting Stanionis, and if he fights Thurman, he's gonna end up fighting Stanionis. And Boots is gonna go 2-3 fights, and he's not really gonna get that title shot. The benefit for Boots is that he's young. The issue that Boots has is he's not gonna get any, like, it's gonna get harder and harder for him to make weight. You know, and these big fights, they're just not gonna come, and it's just real disappointing. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, Just real disappointing. Where we've gone in boxing, I can't tell you one weight class other than 175 pounds that I'm genuinely interested in anymore. Like, I'm not my
135,
optimism.
baby. Dang.
But the reason why I'm not interested is because you got Devin Haney who wants to make big fights, but not many people want to make big fights. I mean, if Ryan Garcia and Tank
You
fight,
got
then I'll
Loma.
be
I like that. That's solid. That's a solid
Loma
fight.
and Devin's a good fight. Okay, fair enough, Blunt. 135 and 175. Those are the only two weight classes that I'm genuinely interested in right now.
I see, Shane. This is where me and you differ. Boxing still has great fights to keep the fans lined up. We miss them and they get rescheduled. That hurts, but they're still there. Zoo Charlo still there. Zapata Prograde still there. So you see what I'm saying? Like, these fights are still there. They're not mega fights to casuals, but to us as hardcore are mega fights to us. And I think that keeps boxing alive. As long as the hardcores hearts are beating and we're paying attention to these cards. Now I gotta be honest, I'm not giving up 100 this weekend for this dude because shit, I ain't got it. But it's a stacked card. I hate to miss it like that, but shit, bro, I think they're having it at the wrong time, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? Why wouldn't you have this shit like next week? You know what I mean? Let a brother check drop. You know what I mean? This new check, I can hit you off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. Bad timing. Right after the holidays, nobody getting their early tax money yet or nothing. Like, bro, what? Like, you giving us such a stacked card that might be missed by a lot of eyes.
Hey, let me add this vlog. From what I heard about this card, it's still a lot of seats available. A real lot of seats available. I was told that today, and like I even looked at that map. It's a lot of seats still available.
Yeah.
And me, I'm thinking like since it's fight week, it should be sold out by now. But it's still a lot of seats available.
They're gonna give away a lot of complimentary seats.
And the thing is, it's even with comp seats, you give out most of those. You hear about that a lot of times when fights are at casinos. So it's gonna be a little different passing these out. You know what I'm saying? Since they're gonna be in DC. So that's what PBC usually does when they usually don't sell a card that well. They'll just give out tickets to make the house look packed. I don't care if it's a PBC fan listening, they gotta admit that. Like, that's just,
I mean,
that's
you're not
just
the
what they
only
do.
one to do it though.
Yeah, I know, but that's just something that they're known for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're known for that. It's just it's crazy, man, because it's like I think just
You
I,
know, can I ask you a question? Like, I want to like, do you think the antics outside of the ring has had an effect on the ticket sales?
nah,
Kind
I'm with Vlog on this one. I'm with Vlog on this one. This is
did, oh,
they
you
could have
asked
made
Vlog
this.
that already?
No. I'm with Vlog in terms of the reason why the ticket sales is like that is because when they're having the fight. If they're having this January 21st instead of January 7th, I think we're talking a different ball game.
Yeah.
I think we're talking a different ball game. There's probably people still on vacation, just coming back from
My
vacation.
point exactly.
Yeah.
My
You know what I
point
mean?
exactly. Shit like that.
Christmas, yeah, the New
Yeah.
Year's, everybody been out, spending money. So
And if you think about it, like Christmas, you had Christmas Day on a Sunday or whatever. Then you had New Year's Day and New Year's Eve, etc. Like the next weekend, really and truly, you just want to almost be
Recover.
indoor.
You in
Yeah,
Yeah, you
like
recovery
want
you
to
don't really
mode,
recover.
want to be
and
You don't
going out.
want to, yeah.
you in
Come on now.
you in
How much
recovery mode
money?
in every aspect.
Yeah, bro.
I can say this. I can say this. The tickets are not cheap.
facts.
When it comes down to it, I think Tank's tickets for this card is higher than Wilder's was against Hellenius.
Is YSM going to that fight? Because I'm pretty sure, like, isn't
Probably
Philadelphia close to Washington?
yeah, that's about like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. So I'm pretty sure he'll be
Shit.
there. I actually seen him at the I think it was at the press conference. I'm almost sure he's gonna be there. But the tickets are I would say probably 20 to 25% higher than Wilder's tickets when Wilder for Hellenius. I just think they should have pushed this back like 2 weeks. They should have pushed it back 2 weeks. If you look at top rank first card is January 14th. And their tickets is from 40. I know it's a different caliber of opponent, like a fight card, but their tickets are between $40 to $89.
And I feel like they would have had the best excuse also. You know, last week they would have saw ticket sales were bad. They could have been like, well, Tank got arrested. Let's push this back 2 weeks. They had the perfect excuse.
I thought that's what they was going to do. I was sitting up here. I'm looking at it. To be honest with you, I'm going to keep it always stacked. I thought the Tank thing, the whole Tank thing with the chick and getting locked up and all, I thought that shit was a straight publicity stunt to push this card back like a month.
I was going to say that.
You would have thought though.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was just bad news is good news, and any news is good news in the sport of promotion.
Just to get this name, name
hot. Especially if the shit got dropped that fast. Come on, bro. Then it was nothing. You know what I mean?
And I was talking with Legend about this when the last time we went live, like. It was crazy because his bail. When have you heard of a domestic situation and the bail is only a stack? The bail was only a stack. That's when I knew. I was like, it had publicity.
Hey, what did he get locked up for? Yelling at his boss? Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
she called the police, and she said that he basically put his hands on her. Like it was a domestic thing. So they came, they locked him up, and we just got the news on social media, so everybody reacted. And then once the news came out, his bill was $1,000. I was like, that case bullshit. I was like, it's bullshit.
But even if it's a case of, again, I do agree with that. That statement. All news is good news, or all publicity is good publicity, even if it's a negative thing in the limelight. Mm-hmm. At least your name's in the street. So I do agree with Blunt on that statement. Mm-hmm. But then there's got to be some wiggle room, like at some stage, you got to see that, like, you made a decision to use a publicity stunt, but it still hasn't really moved the needle.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, just before you do that, I want to say it's not moving the needle because the competition for these names isn't. Got great names, but there's no competition that paying fans say, oh shit, I definitely want to see that. You see what I'm saying? People just want to see these dudes. They want to see who the fuck they fighting too, bro. It's like, so if you keep giving me cupcakes, at some time that shit gotta be free. Like I ain't gonna keep paying for the same cupcake $100 a wop. Like you know what I mean? I need this shit for free. You giving me the same fucking cupcake, bro. You ain't put no sprinkles on it, no candle. You know what I mean? Change the case color, nothing. Come on, bro. Right. I'm just saying. Timing off. Terrible.
You say the case color.
Like, yeah, they got the pink and blue joints. Like, they don't want the same white.
Was that 38, 30? I got my first time stamp for 2023. That is hilarious, bro. Go ahead, Legend. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Peterson on the card. It is on box right now, so he is taking on a guy that got a lot of losses or whatever. But he is on the card along with his brother. So
Lamont Peterson.
I thought you retired.
He did,
bro. Yeah. That's like paying to see. That's like paying to see Devin Alexander. Come on, bro. These dudes do not need to be fighting at this point in time, and I'm definitely not paying to see these dudes fight, bro.
What's that? 39? You on the roll?
I'm just saying, bro, I'm not giving you $100 to see Devin Alexander. I don't care who he's fighting. He could be fighting his cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not paying for that.
Yo, let me ask y'all this real quick. Why not, if you're PBC, why not put Charlo Zoo January 7th and put Tank in them on the 28th? That makes more sense, don't it?
Nah, somebody got an injury in the Charlo Zoo situation, so that shit just off. Period. So I don't think.
No, I'm talking about going in.
Originally?
Like I know it's originally correct.
Where's the Charlo Zoo fight? Is it in Australia?
If
it ain't in Australia,
it's not pay-per-view. That's the point.
It's in Vegas.
But it's not.
That shit should be in Australia, bro. They missing out on mad numbers on that fight, bro.
But it just make more because I'm like, if you're gonna put a fight on January 7th and have a premier name, it make more sense to put Charlo Zoo in that slot because it's not a pay-per-view and people ain't got to come out of their pockets. And then on January 28th, which was the original Charlo Zoo date, it made more sense to put this Tank card on that one because everybody money done recoup. Now you probably can charge them prices. If it's January 28th, it's probably sold out. Because DC pay. DC pay.
I agree with that. I didn't know Zoo and Charlo wasn't no pay-per-view. That's pay-per-view to me. If that shit is in Australia, the fuck are you fighting over here for and you can't get no pay-per-view money?
Go ahead, Legend, go ahead.
I disagree with it being pay-per-view. I don't think Tim Zoo is a big enough name, man.
In Australia?
Well, in Australia, but I mean, to me, yeah, in Australia, in his hometown, that's cool.
That's
what
in Australia. That was my cap. It was in Australia. Don't take that fight.
I got a better question for you because to me, I just agree with Blunt all the way around. I just would have missed the 7th. This whole entire week, I just wouldn't have done a fight on. But I feel like it's been a company policy at PBC to lose money because when was the last pay-per-view that done 100,000 pay-per-view buy-ins? Like,
bro, hold on, what was that? 42 minutes? I gotta write this shit down, man. I got a 36, 38, 39.
Like they got that shit in ink. They pass limos out.
Bro, like
that
let's
shit.
keep it all the way a bingo.
Like if any of you niggas productive, y'all getting fired.
These dudes are getting real high purses, and these dudes are getting pay-per-views, but they're not really doing much numbers. So, the maths have to math. You see my point? Like it has to make sense. How are you paying Wilder X amount of money, Tank X amount of money, Errol Spence, well, not so much Errol Spence, but you know what I mean? These dudes X amount of money, and the Andy Ruiz, etc. All of this type of money, but it's not making the same in pay-per-view numbers. You're not making it in ticket sales. So,
bro,
I don't.
I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be honest and reply to that. They're lying about the numbers that they're giving these fighters. That's a lie. I think that's a lie. Unless you showing me tax records, statements, I gotta believe that's a lie. Because when I use my common sense and logic and listen to your prior statement, you're telling me and proving to me this shit is not economically feasible to be telling me it makes sense to pay him $10 million to fight a guy that nobody knows, and you want to charge people $100 a wad. Like, come on, bro. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm
saying, though, Blunt. Like, how can you justify doing a fight on that is financial suicide to do a fight on January the 7th after Christmas and New Year's Day and the whole Christmas festive period, and you're in the first week where people go back to work, people are coming back
pay their bills. This is a bill. This is the first week. The first week of the month is bill week.
Literally, like, who the hell is going to? I don't know, boys. This is financial suicide. But if we go by the track record of PBC, this isn't uncommon. They've been slitting their throats since last year.
Man, again, we can go back to the Charlo fight. Why is that shit in Vegas and why is it free? This is undisputed. What are you doing?
Hey, Vlog.
What are you doing?
If I get evicted, man, I'm staying at Boots' house, yo. I'm staying at Boots' house, man. I'm like, bro, you put me in the hole, bro.
That one went over my head. I don't get that.
I said no. If you spent all this money on the Tank fight, somebody missed their mortgage or they rent and they get evicted. I'm in the same city as Boots. I'm staying in Boots' house.
Yeah,
I
like,
see.
man,
Straight up.
Let me get the back door key to the gym, nigga. Like shit, you know what I'm saying? Like something. I need to nigga. I spent the grip.
Hey, Vlog, let me hold on. Hey, Vlog, let me speak on what you said real quick, bro. As far as the fighters in PBC getting the guarantees that they used to get, they have put a cap on it. And what I mean by a cap is if your number is 1.5, if your event doesn't do X amount of viewership, sponsorship, things like that, you're not getting that number. So I know for a fact that that's the case right now with some of the PBC guys.
Can I ask you a question? Is that the fighter's fault or is that the promotion's fault?
To be honest with you, when you signed under Al, it don't matter who fault it is. Whatever he said goes.
But that's my point. To with Shane, that goes back to gotta be on point where he's saying they got this shit set up to waste money. Like this
they
shit
can't do nothing about it.
Tax write off or something, bro.
But see,
like,
this is why
a vlog.
But this is why I have a hard time having this. See, I can have this conversation with y'all because nobody is pro PBC and nothing else matters. There's a lot of people out here that's pro PBC and nothing else matters. And I ask the basic, simple questions when it comes down to PBC, and I don't get answers. When you take, so Shane, check this out. So the Wilder and Helenius fight sold what, 70, 75?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, so Wilder's guaranteed purse is what, like 15 million, 20?
It can't be any less than 12.
Yeah, so how that gate and them sales, that don't even pay for Wilder's purse. And I'm just being realistic. And that card had Plant and Darrell on there. You got to pay them too. And there was a bunch of other fights. So that I'm just like, people, I've been in Legend, you in these, you in the streets, you hear what's going on. You hear so many people talking about, you heard so many people talking about Black Prime. And this is why I be having a problem with people, because I'm like, they don't distribute the smoke evenly. I'm like, Wilder just did 70,000. 70. You understand what I'm saying? He did 70. And then you got people all through the blogs and all that, like, oh, what Bud numbers is? What's Bud numbers? I'm like, bro, there's a bunch of pay-per-views that don't do numbers. 90% of them don't do numbers. No matter what promotional company it is.
Can I ask you a question? Is that reflection of price point or is that reflection of the current climate of people in life?
Both. Because I'm gonna tell you, and I say this all the time, bro. It don't matter if a pay-per-view is $5 or $100. If somebody's gonna buy it, they're gonna buy it. But if a person's not gonna buy it, they're not gonna buy it, no matter what the price is.
It's based on principle.
It's based on principle. Because if you give me, I'm gonna go to Vlog's point. You give me Charlo Castaño 2 for free. You can't give me Andy Ruiz and Chris Areola, and you want me to pay to get in the building for that. It doesn't make logical sense. This the problem that I be having. I'm like, it doesn't make any logical sense. Like, it's backwards. It's backwards. PBC's best fights is on free TV. That's a fact.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of these dudes, a lot of these promotional companies are actually making money on the what's it called? Like, they're making money on the initial upfront deal.
Yeah,
because it's like when Al Heyman signed that $1 billion deal with Fox, or when Eddie Hearn signed that deal with DAZN or ESPN and ESPN Plus. Like, you just get that lump sum of money up front. You cream off a piece to yourself. You don't mind if you lose the rest of the money because it ain't my money to lose.
But Shane, but you follow you set that up nice. So if that's the landscape, right? How do you expect for a fighter to take a percentage in this day and age?
You can't. You can't.
But if you ask certain people, they're gonna say, "Oh well, this person should have took 20%, 25%, 30% of a non-guaranteed number." And y'all know where I'm going with that. The boxing climate does not command for any fighter to take a percentage except for a guaranteed number. You might be fighting for free. You might be fighting for free, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact, because at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that any fight in this climate right now generates any money.
Listen, the only guaranteed bread.
I hear people say this. Oh, well, that's because certain fighters don't promote themselves. One of the best self promoters in boxing is Wilder. He done 70,000 in his last fight. Period.
Yeah, it's just I think there's more of a problem with how the business of boxing is being conducted in terms of money generating. There's the people at the top, they're not taking a percentage. The Al Haymans, the Bob Arum, they're not taking a percentage.
But look at Bob Arum. Bob Arum done a real smart thing because he now understands the concept of site fees. I think Al Heyman's the only one that's slowly falling behind.
Yo, the motherfucker just went up too.
What?
Arum and them just went up. That ESPN3 shit, that app shit, they just went up. So,
but
I'd rather that than the 4 or 5 pay-per-views that's like $70-$80 that I just.
When I'm saying site fee though, bro, I'm more talking about the fact that you can sell a fight to a country or you sell a fight to what's it called, I don't know.
Region.
As the legend
even a
says,
casino.
Yeah, exactly. You could have gone to Tim Zoo's hometown and done Charlo versus
What's
Charlo
the site fee for that, Shane?
In my opinion, that site fee would have been more than the pay-per-view. Because you're gonna get 25,000, 30,000. You got two. They just had an undisputed fight with Kambosos. Another undisputed fight in Australia again. Like, let's be honest, they're gonna pay for that. We just saw 30,000, 40,000 people in Kambosos. I guarantee we ain't seeing 40,000 people in wherever that fight is being held, Vegas or wherever.
Can I let me ask y'all this and Legend get kick off the answers. The reason why I feel like the reputation of boxing is kind of coming back to bite itself in the ass, because you're not seeing a lot of these fights in places where it makes more financial sense, because fighters are afraid of getting robbed on the cards. So guys are not willing to go to other people's hometowns, other countries where there's a big ass bag waiting for them, because they afraid this judge, that judge, and this judge is going to say it's 9-3 the other way when I clearly mocked this dude 10-2. Am I on to something with that?
Yeah, and I was going to ask Vlog this. So Savannah Marshall just exercised a rematch clause, but Shields is saying she wants it in the U.S. But I felt even though Shields won it easily, in my opinion, I felt that she thought it could have been some home cooking, because like the way she was looking at the ring announcer when he was giving the scorecard, she looked worried. So why is she bringing it? Why does she want it in the U.S.? That's a question I had for Vlog.
That's a good question.
But the UK is a way bigger, is a bigger boxing fan base.
Good question. Go ahead, Vlog.
I'm gonna answer it. I think that's it's selfish. That's a self-promoting request by her, being a champ, things like that. I think she's not as big here as she thinks she is. So, and she'll find out if this is some sort of, you know what I mean, not well stacked card. And American fight fans don't pay attention to female boxing on that level. It has to be, they gotta make sure they maneuver these female fights on cards that are, eye catchy, like, oh shit, such, and then you see a female fight on there, you know what I mean, it's acceptable. ESPN does it regularly. If they do this wrong on DAZN with her, this is gonna backfire. So, but obviously, like you said, it makes sense to do it there. I don't see the worry like that as much. I get what you're saying, but I think we a little bit past the just flat out like what we saw with, let's take the Michael Fox situation. Like that was probably the worst in recent, but it wasn't such a marquee fight. We probably won't see that with these marquee fights because, you know, obviously the fans ain't going to accept it. These teams, they, you know, you got commissions that you can, you know what I'm saying, have things overturned with and things like that. And certain fighters have pull where just, I doubt that you'll see Charlo rob like that. You know what I'm saying? Like in the first situation with Castano, they wanted the second fight. So that was set up to get the second fight. He clearly won the first fight. Clearly.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I know what Vlog be doing, man. He be throwing alley-oops for arguments, man. I'm not catching and slam dunking this one, bro. I'm not dunking this one.
Bro, I'm just saying.
I'm a changed man.
I did the live. I called it, bro. It was 8-4, easy. He had this dude running around the ring like he was running from a robber. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. All right, I get you. All right, I get you.
No, but
so you're telling me the results of the second fight didn't say he clearly won the first fight?
No, it's two different fights. It's two different fights, bro.
No,
it's two different fights.
Hold
on, hey vlog, hold on. Watch me get vlog for the second time in this show. What didn't Charlo lose to Tony Harrison? Wasn't that two different fights? When I get the chin, I got him. I got him.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. That first fight, bro. That first fight.
Be careful, because we was on the phone together. Be careful.
Eat it out. I get that. All right. But there's no way in the world you can compare the Harrison performance to Castano. Harrison wasn't gone like that in that first fight. The second fight, clearly,
Can I meet you in the middle of the street? Let me meet you in the middle of the street on that one. If you had Charlo winning that first fight against Castano, you had it 7-5, 8-4.
I had it 8-4.
That's the widest. That's the widest. If you had it for Castano, you probably had it no more than probably 7-5. You either had a 7-5 a draw. 7-5 Castano, 7-5 Charlo, or draw. That was the consensus with that. So I can't even say that you're bugging with your, you know what I'm saying, with your thoughts. And we were watching the fight, and you honestly had it 8-4. Like I wasn't on. I was at work, and y'all were watching it. You and Shane did the live. You know what I'm saying? So when I was watching it, I'm like, if you listen to vlog, you thinking Castano got mopped. And I'm like, I'm getting text messages like from everywhere, and it was just like, yo, I was getting mixed reactions. It was like, I thought Charlo won the fight, I thought Castano won the fight, but I was getting a lot of draws too. I bet the draw. You know what I'm saying? I bet the draw. So it's just it's crazy. Because it's just, I think a lot of money's being left on the table because of corruption. I think a lot of money's being left on the table. Like I'd take, for example, right, Inouye and Stephen Fulton. Fulton goes to Inouye's backyard. That he's gonna make buku money. That fight's never gonna happen because Inouye's not gonna want to come here because he's like, yo, I'm leaving a whole bag over here in my country. And Fulton's not gonna want to go over there because he's gonna feel like he's getting robbed. He's gonna get robbed. But if the judges
now see, that's a name I can say where he needs to worry because he have the pull. Now in a Charlo situation, we're going over there in a what's the sister name? In the Shield situation, going back to England, you got the light is on everything. When she comes here, to me, that's going to take the steam off that fight. If you had that fight here, that's going to take the steam off of it.
You know the thing that's crazy, bro, and I agree with that 100%, man. Like and like Legend said, like the fact that she's asking for it here, I'm like, you must not want to get paid.
That's
like you're literally asking.
You're being selfish.
You're literally asking for your business partners to take a loss. The only way they're gonna make true money in that fight is back at that same location. The zone's handling it, and Eddie Hearn's on top of it. I'm not gonna lie, Eddie Hearn is getting these females the bag. He's getting them the bag.
My point is this: with her requesting that, what fan base is she saying going to support that fighter? Where's her fan base here? Where's your opponent's fan base? That's part of your pocket too. That whoever's paying to see her is paying to see you too. So who's gonna pay? Like, you got to know that.
I'm gonna give you a pretty good example. They could put that card in a small casino in AC and it's not gonna sell out. They can put it in Clarissa Shields' hometown and it's not gonna sell out. And I know it seems like I'm taking shots.
No,
with her it don't even matter.
Shots. I'm being practical.
I'm being practical as well, because the reason I brought up AC is because she had a card in AC. She had boots on the card, and that card didn't sell out, and it was in a small casino.
Facts.
So I said AC for a reason. She is being selfish. I will say that if she's the GOAT and she got a nice bag over in the UK, and that girl wants to run it back, all that means is if you get robbed, you can run it back for a third time, and you're gonna get a third bag.
Hey, that's why we got to salute Devin Haney.
The champion, you have But ain't that as a champion, don't you have the option to add a clause? You're the champion, so you can make stipulations. So obviously, with her calling to enact a rematch clause, you do the same thing. If it's a hiccup, I want the trilogy action. If it's a hiccup,
this is what I hope is happening, bro. I'm hoping that Clarissa Shields is using that to get more money out of the second fight in the UK. That's what I'm hoping. Smart. She's using that as a leverage play. Now, if I'm running Clarissa Shields, if I'm her manager, that's exactly what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing.
That would be smart.
Let me get the comments real quick.
We'll get you extra 5% or something
to
come back over.
Exactly.
You know, pay for some luxuries. You know what I mean? Put you in the penthouse this time.
Right. Steven Skatchman in the building, man. Big shout out to you, bro. He said, is it true that Gamboa got arrested today for running over a pedestrian? I just read something about it minutes before the podcast started.
Yeah, that is true. Too. Yeah, he did.
That's true.
In Cuba, they don't play.
Nah, they don't play.
These foreign countries, man, you can't get away with a lot of things that, let's say, can be talked around here. If you got money, if you're recognizable, you can kind of talk around some things, but a lot of these places like Cuba, man, come on now. You know, they 10 toes down about that. They don't give a fuck who you is.
My guy Ghost in the building, man, said salute family. Big shout out to Ghost, man. He said Castaño clearly beat Charlo.
Was he drunk? Was dude drunk?
I don't know. I didn't see no details. A vlog, Ghost said Castaño clearly beat Charlo in the first fight.
Okay, so the results of the second fight tell me he clearly didn't, because he was running worse in the first fight than he was in the second fight. The second fight, he just went to sleep. It was a wrap. The first fight, he kind of got shook, and he was like, man, let me get my bicycle up under me and get up out of this trouble right now. So I guess, man, you know, maybe you was watching it with one hand over your eye, and you only saw Castaño, you know what I'm saying, side of the fight. It was like, oh, he's looking very good. Like, so I get it. I'm fucking with you, Playboy.
Ghost laughing. Damn, yeah. See, so Ghost had it the opposite in the first fight. You had an 8-4, Charlo. He had an 8-4.
8-4? Oh, wow. Coming forward didn't make the fight, bro. He came forward and missed so. He was punching so wide, trying to hit elbows. He was hitting shoulders. I'm not giving you no scoring punches for those flurries that he was doing in that first fight, bro. His accuracy was terrible, bro. Like, I can't just say you're throwing punches, so you're winning the fight, bro. If those punches ain't landing.
That's a great fight for us to go back and watch and like score it.
Yes, that is. That
would be a dope.
We supposed to have been doing that too, bro.
That's why I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this approval from this certain location where we can make that happen. Ghost said Ben Shalom will not let that fight happen in the US. It's too much money for them in the UK. That fight is pay-per-view in the UK, not the US. That's 100% facts. And that's why I think it might just be a ploy from Clarissa Shields just to get, like Vlog said, get an extra 5%, you know what I mean, possibly 10%, or maybe some money on the back end, you know, just a a negotiating ploy. But I think nobody in their right mind would want that fight in the US. Like, let them scrap it out in the UK. Because I'm like, if you better than Savannah Marshall, it don't matter where it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Legend.
Do you think the fight was close? Because I didn't. Between Marshall and Shields, I didn't think it was close at all. Like,
I didn't think it was competitive.
But
she fought as well as Cambosis did. That's all I can say.
I know it was in the UK, but like, to me, Shields worked her. But there was a times where when Marshall started landing shots, the crowd was going crazy. I mean, I know that's her hometown, that's what they're supposed to do. But man, Shields worked her easily.
Yeah, Shields, you know, Shields pulled the pen and pad out for sure, man. Like, I thought it was easy work, you know what I mean? But it's just like Shields would have had to win all of the rounds and probably get a knockdown too for her to stand there and like breathe easy with the scorecards being read. And that's just the nature of the beast when it comes down to boxing, man. Like, it's right. You remember back in the day, we used to be like, yo, like, people got robbed more in the UK than the US. I'm like, it really don't matter where you are now. Like, it's, you know, robberies happen all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Happens all over the world. Steven said, thanks for the shout out. Great podcast. Very informative. Hey, man, we appreciate you pulling up, bro. Definitely. Hey, Vlog, you know one thing that you said that was very true. And I want to actually bring this up is the actual Tank Davis pay-per-view. It has a lot of names, but there's not that many interesting matchups. And I thought that was a great point. Please, it's 2023. Come on, bro. You gonna leave me hanging? You gonna argue? Well, thank you. You a little slow on the draw, brother. It was about a good 5 seconds. It went down there.
Shit, man. I'm trying to hold this gas in, nigga. This shit, motherfucking $50 AP, nigga. I need to hold this shit in.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah. But I think, to be honest with you, Rashidi Ellis may have the toughest matchup. You know what I'm saying? He may have the toughest matchup.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the Garcia matchup because it's an undefeated fighter. It's a guy coming off a great upset, got a little steam. So the matchup makes sense, but a pay-per-view matchup, I don't think it's that quality of a matchup. It just because it's Tank, bro. I can't keep giving you $100 because you Tank. Some of these Tank fights should have been on Showtime, bro.
Yeah, I think to be honest with you, bro, Tank is not doing 500,000-600,000. He's doing between 2 to 250, something like that, which is solid for this day and age. Like, definitely
that's solid to me.
That's solid.
Anything over 150 to 200 is solid because it's so many avenues for people to seek, you know, entertainment. You know what I mean? That's more likely free. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to charge somebody, you want that level that they're paying for to have some excitement, like the Barrio situation. Very exciting. Why? Step up fight. Fighting at 140. Fighting another guy that we saw have some scrappy fights, showed a lot of heart, and he was actually winning that fight. So I'm hoping we get that same effort from Hector, but I don't know because, again, he didn't get rid of Colbert. Now, if you came in off a knockout victory type of situation, I might, you know what I'm saying?
A Vlog, but the thing about that, bro, Hector Garcia, he was a last-minute replacement. He wasn't supposed to do none of that to Chris Colbert. He wasn't supposed to do none of that to Chris Colbert. None of it.
Hey, I was watching some of that earlier, man. To me, man, he put that work on Colbert, man. Like, I don't think Colbert the same, man. He ain't the same, man.
That was, and you know, a Legend. Let me say this. Let me respond to that real quick. The thing about that fight is we've seen last-minute replacements come in and give guys difficulties and things like that. Like, he took Chris Colbert's soul. Like he snatched his soul out his chest. Like you've never seen Chris Colbert. He was in the ring to survive. He was not trying to win. He wasn't trying to do none of that. His heart was taken in that fight, and you very rarely see that from a last minute replacement fighting a blue chip prospect like Chris Colbert. You may even you'll see a knockout, a surprise knockout, more so than somebody snatching your soul. I'd rather be knocked out early than for somebody to snatch my soul throughout the whole fight. You don't know what Chris Colbert gonna show up going forward. That's why I'm like, if I'm Frank Martin, I take that fight now. I get that right now. I get Chris Colbert right now. You know what I'm saying?
Martin too big for Chris Colbert, bro.
Hey, Colbert talking about coming up.
Hey, let me ask you, bro. Do you think Russell and Colbert could happen? Possibly.
Which Russell?
Gary Jr., not Antoine. Gary that lost
McSile.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, they both come
after that loss and the way he destroyed my parlay. Man, I ain't got no faith in him doing anything good against Martin. So go ahead and take the fight, get you a bag, but I'm not betting on that motherfucker again. That was the worst performance I had seen, and wow, you got the power to fix it. I don't know that the corner was giving him the right information, bro. Like, I mean, dude that he fought was boxing, and he never, like, he probably wasn't used to that. He probably thought dude was going to stay there, you know, get punched on and move. But this dude was punching and moving, using angles. Like, I mean, this dude looked like he was a fifth grader that got dropped off in high school. You know what I'm saying? And they sent that nigga to an algebra class. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this shit is crazy, bro. Like, I don't got no faith in him against Martin. Like, Martin is the dark horse right now. He almost is Boots level. He could be scary to where dudes will start avoiding him.
Yeah, I think Chris Colbert just, but see, that's why I mean, of course, I think Tank is going to win the fight, but I think when you have a guy do that to Chris Colbert, and then he gets a big opportunity like this, I think Tank knows he can't go in there with his eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks like even when he talk about the fight, he's on high alert. The main thing that he says is, hey, I can't look past this dude. You seen what he did to Colbert. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
I'm gonna tell you,
we can't expect to see Tank slip.
Nah. I think that's just Tank being a good commentator and good interaction with the media. Like, he's saying the right things. I think Tank is going to maul this dude, and Tank knows that this dude is coming up in weight. Obviously, you splash in a new weight class. You don't want to make a splash against the damn top dog as far as power punching. You know what I'm saying? Is he the best boxer? Quickly becoming that. I like what I seen in the Rolly fight. I like some of the things he did to switch things up in the Barrios fight. Showing a lot of boxing IQ, listening to the corner. So he's quickly becoming a great boxer, along with, goddamn, knocking niggas out their body, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Santa Cruz, like, come on, my dude. They still peeling that motherfucker off the canvas. You know what I'm saying? His shoes and shit still in the ring, nigga. Like, so come on, bro. Like, Tank is almost there. So I don't see a real like Hector doing anything. And again, Colbert is not the puncher that Tank is. So for Tank to actually, you know, feel like this dude is a problem. Come on, my dude. Like,
I agree with everything that you said. Is just with Tank it's good. It's good to have that approach, because you want to shed as much positive light on your opponent as possible, because you don't want people to think you in there with a bum. So yeah, hype him up. You know what I mean? I don't think Hector Garcia, I don't think he lasts 5 rounds. That's just my personal opinion. I think he's out of there before round 5. That's my personal opinion.
I'm gonna do you one under. It ain't going past 4.
Yeah.
Hey, I say I say he starts in maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8. You think he lands
I
7 or
just
8?
feel Hector's going to be throwing flurries of punches, and Tank is just going to like he's going to be dodging, and then he's going to eventually catch him. But I just see Hector going in there trying to make a statement and just being game until he gets clipped. But I don't think it's that early. That's just me.
But
think
to me,
that,
like when you say that, Ledge, it that feeds into an early KO. Because if you coming in opening up too early, where's your defense? Where like I don't know if you got a chin or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know them 24 other dudes that you beat outside of Colbert, and I know Colbert is he probably couldn't knock his little sister out. So I'm just saying.
Hey man, let me say this, man. I hope the referee ain't Harvey Doc. I hope it ain't Harvey Doc, man. If it's Harvey Doc, that joint getting stopped early.
Harvey Doc, man.
I hope it ain't Harvey, man, because I was there when he fought Nunes. And do y'all agree when he stopped Nunes in the second round? Do y'all think it should have been stopped?
No.
Nunes, like you could see it. He was kind of upset. I mean, he didn't touch the canvas. I mean, he did get caught with some big punches, but I don't think it should have been stopped.
You might in certain situations like that when I think you saved him from the inevitable, like really getting damaged. So I think some of them fights we need to probably look back and really see if we agree with our initial thoughts at the time. So looking back at that one in my mind, that was one where he probably saved him from the inevitable. You know what I mean? So questionable.
Harvey Doc referee like he trying to get attention, bro. He be like this. He do that all the time, bro. He be like, hey, like,
hey,
I hope it ain't him, man.
Yeah, Harvey Doc is, and he used to be a really good referee, but I think he's been kind of on the decline the last, I would say, at least two years. Like, he's been. And
let me ask you this: do you think Tank that they're doing the right thing with all these other, let's say, recognizable names? I'm not gonna say Andrade or Boots or any of these dudes is on Tank's level, but do you think it's a little bit disservice to the quote unquote lights truly being on Tank, and this is his event? These dudes are basically getting the bag off his name. So is that really hurting them in the reverse?
I think it goes to what you said earlier, and I think they put all them names on because of the date of the fight. If somebody's gonna come out of their pockets and be more in debt, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be more in debt for multiple names on the card and not just Tank. So I think if this is a February or March fight, then you probably don't see half of these names on here. You might see Boots, and that's it. Like, you definitely wouldn't see Andrade. You wouldn't see Rashidi Ellis. I think they stacked this card knowing that they was coming off the Christmas break, and they got to give people a reason to actually purchase.
The timing is off for me.
I agree.
Check ain't coming till next week. What you doing to me, Playboy? Like, I just came off of dropping it, check and a half for all this family stuff. Blah,
yo,
blah, blah.
Hey, vlog, you gonna see loan sharks beating people down in the parking lot after the fight.
Like, man, where's my money?
Where's my money? You see people with top hats.
Bro, that's gonna be crazy, bro. And then, I mean, if I was in the area, I'd pull up. I ain't gonna lie, because of the understanding that these fools give away a bunch of tickets. I'd probably, do some parking lot pimping on that. You know what I mean? But
Legend, listen, bro, they're probably gonna give out seats probably better than the seats that you got.
Yeah, I'll be mad with that, man.
But listen, this
I'm giving my tickets back, and I'm hanging out outside, bro. On my
this
mouth.
my thing. This my thing though. Like, what's gonna happen is they start giving them tickets out once the TV card starts. Like, all them other fights that's before the actual TV portion, like, they're not gonna give out no tickets for that. They usually give them out maybe like an hour and a half before the main event, and then you just see mad people flooding in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
nah,
I will say, but Legend, I will say this though. You will definitely have an opportunity to move up.
Move. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I wouldn't pay $400 for like a lower level seat. I would pay for a nosebleed seat and just move up. Because if you look at the map, and the guards is only gonna guard up to a certain point. Once they see the spot relatively empty, once you look through a tunnel, you see security ain't there. You bum rush that John. You know what I'm saying? You bum rush it. That's what Tree and Lance did for the Bud fight. But they got caught though. They got caught. They was trying to do that, and then soon as like the main part of the card started, like everybody just started flooding in the joint. But see, I don't think they're gonna do that for the Tank fight. Like I think it's really gonna be some empty seats in there, so it's a real opportunity to move up.
I think they're gonna want at least the camera version. Like, you know how they pan out from time to time. If it's empty early and they're to that televised portion, they're not gonna probably be doing a lot of panning. You know what I mean? They're gonna be front row, you know what I mean, as far as like where the camera's at, and hopefully that shit is filled up. Because again, you got even the celebrities, they've traveling and things like that. So a lot of your normal celebrities that be at quote unquote big fight cards, we might not even get that. And how many people really hit up Washington DC like that? Is that your like spot to be like, yo, I can't wait to get to DC. I put that on my bucket list. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean,
it's just a weird little situation, bro. I just think the time and the date is just got to be the worst date I could think of to put a
that
DC fight on.
DC when they get warm out, definitely.
There you go. That's another point. Who traveling? They got the cold situation going on. I know it's supposed to lighten up a little in the city because I talked to my uncle the other day. He was like, it's getting a little warmer, but they've had that. So how many people really gonna be like, yo, I can't wait to run outside? Like, man, they're gonna be like, fuck that. I'm gonna turn this heat down in the house now that it's getting a little warmer. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why.
I don't know why. To be honest with you, I understand. Like, so they got the Petersons on there, but Boots is from Philly. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. But the thing is, I'm like, they'd have been better off. That's a Barkley card. That's a Barkley card.
Yeah, that feel. Maybe they're trying to give Tank that home area sort of fight. You know what I mean?
Agreed. The DC Baltimore. I mean, it's basically, you know, like this. That's right there. Like, you know what I'm saying. So I Vlog. I agree with a lot of what you've said today.
It's me, baby. It's me.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's. I mean, I hope it does well. I hope it does well.
All of them. I ain't no hater, but
I hope it does well. I just because I'm like, we had this situation before with Tank. Like, they put a Tank pay-per-view on a Sunday with the NFL. Like, I don't understand some of the I don't understand some of the rules.
I didn't buy. That's the one I didn't buy.
That's the one I think that's sold like 50,000 or something like that. It's just some of the and listen.
No, I did buy that one. I did buy that one.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm like, listen, Al Heyman probably done forgot more than I've ever learned. I'm not saying that I know more things business wise. That's more of a common sense thing. I'm like,
we got common sense. We not stupid.
we not stupid.
I ain't no sheep. I'm gonna watch them first sheep jump in the back of a truck. And I'm gonna get the fuck off this plank.
Right, straight up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make any business sense. It didn't make any logical sense. I'm like, if it wasn't the NFL season, that's something different. But you literally put a Tank card pay-per-view on a Sunday with the NFL running. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You know, so it's gonna be tough. I don't what number do you give it, Vlog? How many buys you think it do?
$1.25.
You think it goes over $1?
I give it $1. I give it $1.25 max in my estimation. If it does that, then it does well in my estimation. If it does $1.25, but low end 60.
So you're saying between 60 and 100?
Yeah, 60 and 100.
I'm gonna say
So 60 is bad with that roster of names. 60 would be terrible.
yeah. I think if this same exact card happens and it's not right after Christmas, I could see them probably doing a $125 to maybe 150 if it's not during a holiday. But I think they're gonna get a rude awakening with this fight. I think they're probably gonna sell probably maybe 65 to 70% of the tickets, probably give out the other 30, 35 just to pack the house. But see, DC is the type of people, they don't know
Is it
about
a pull up?
giving
Is
out
it
the
a pull up
tickets.
area, Legend?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the bed. I'm going 5 deep.
No, I'm saying, is it like that area? Do people just like pull up at events, or do like people kind of pre-situate themselves for events like that? Like Vegas is pre-situated. Nobody just pulls up to these events in Vegas. Like that shit is already lined up. You know where you're going. But you got other areas. So I'm wondering, is DC like a pull-up sort of area? Like, oh, we'll just wait
I
till
would say no,
Saturday.
man.
I would say no,
No?
too. I would
Yeah, I
say
say
no
no,
too.
man.
Their DC is you got two types of people. Like you got the people, like the younger people that's kind of like party scene, you know what I'm saying? And then you just got your regular Joes. Like I know one of the sites that I went on to see the tickets, they to get a parking pass, it was like $112 for a parking pass, not the tickets, but a parking pass. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, I don't think there's a lot of thought being put into where they're putting these fighters and things like that. Cause I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm like, why not have, like, when was the Wilder fight? That was what?
November?
I think it was October 15th or something like that. Yeah.
October 15th. Yeah. I like, just January 7th is just a bad date, man.
I'd have hit
For
them off
business,
next
for the
weekend,
business,
bro.
for
Not this
business is a
weekend. The
bad
second.
date. Like, and it's like, listen, and it's like I can go, and I'm still debating like to go, like, because I love DC, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, you got, you know, Legend going 5 deep, but I'm pretty sure Legend made an exception. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have did other stuff with, you know what I'm saying, with the money or whatever. Like, I would be making an exception as well. But then you got vlog like, yo, I can't do it. You know how many people in DC feel the same way Vlog do? No, I can't do it. I just spent 2,500, $3,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, they would have been better off. They would have been better off not stacking the card and just lowering the price of the pay-per-view. They'd have been better off doing that. If they wouldn't have put, because Boots is not going to move the needle in terms of how many people are actually going to show and how many people,
because he's not fighting anybody.
Because he's not fighting anybody.
That's why.
Andre, he's not going to add to that either. You understand what I'm saying? Rashidi's not going to add to it. So I'm like, you got to pay all these dudes. I might, if they wanted to, they could have gave Tank. Even if you keep Hector Garcia, like, you keep him. If you want to keep the Petersons on there, okay, cool. And then just round the card out and make this a $50 pay-per-view, except for an $80 pay-per-view. Make them tickets, make the floor seats a $500 floor seat, except for a $900 to $1,200 floor seat. Like, it was hella seats on the floor. Hella seats on the floor. Like, I'm looking, and I'm like, the cheapest floor seat that I seen was $699. That was and it was only one. All the rest of them were in the nines and like $1,200-$1,300. And like, and I'm sitting up here and I'm like, bro, these floor seats gonna be like $400 and like close to the date, because they're gonna be trying to come up off them joints. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I
That's
couldn't agree more, bro. It's just
pricey, bro.
bad deep, man. Bad
Pricey.
deep.
But where's it like for that price, bro? I need thrill. I don't need direct carpet treatment, like I was speaking of earlier. Like those are expensive cupcakes. That's basically what
Yeah.
that card is:
What
expensive cupcakes. And for that price in person, for me, I need the thrill. I need,
I ain't
you
gonna
know,
lie.
maybe not. I'm obviously, I think they would be charging way more for Crawford Spence. You know, we talking $5,000,
For
something
sure.
like that. But I need that. That's the thrill. That's 5,000 to me.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
You know what would probably do just as good from a bit, and I'm talking purely a business standpoint. Broner in February in Atlanta. Broner gonna pack that thing. He gonna pack that thing because the hood niggas still love him. The hood dudes still love him, and you know, in the A, you know they gonna come out between the hood dudes and the strip club. Please, that it's gonna do well business wise. Of course, the matchup is not, you know, a premier matchup, but in Atlanta, and Tank proved it already. You go
You
out to
know,
the A, they come out. They come out. They're not even.
you don't think Broner would do good in Barclays? Like Atlanta, yeah, Atlanta's a growing business boxing joint, but I don't know if he's that fresh of a name.
They don't care. That's the thing. Like they're looking for any reason to get dressed up and come out.
I see what you're saying.
You feel what I'm saying?
I got you.
They're looking for that reason. So like even with the Tank, when Tank fought in Atlanta, the who's who was in there. Like you would have thought the president was coming out. And it was just people, they had a reason to get fresh. They had a reason to get fresh. They like, all right, well, we got 10 different strip clubs, this whole in the, you know, after party, boom, 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 boom. Like the whole city was crazy. Like the whole city was crazy. So it's you take a fight, and this is why in Vlog said it best. Like you gotta pay attention to how you're lining these guys up for cards. Like it's much better if you would have had this fight January 21st, 28th, first week in February, something like that. It makes more sense. It makes more sense. Like, and it's just now. So what's going to happen? And it's not going to be fair to Tank. It's not going to be fair to Tank.
Once that fight card is over, fans to me,
agreed,
it's not
agreed.
Fair because you're not boxing fans have to recover from everyday life too. We're fans, but it's like, goddamn, bro, you gonna charge me at this time, bro? This is not the time that I don't have to pay attention. It's the time I don't have to pay for something. Now, if this was on Showtime, a nice 3-hour card lined up, stacked, you know, bringing back some oldie but goodies and Sheedy and Andre, them type of guys, I'm a line up time, sit down and watch that. But for me to all up, to get on you know, to get on the road, rent a car, do all this parking stuff Jeff mentioned earlier, that's a bit much, bro, for your everyday boxing fan or for your one big event type of fan. Like some fans wait for a big event. This is the wrong time for that fan.
They don't factor that in. And the thing is, and I'm like, they don't have like a lot of these fight cards, they don't have like group packages, things like that. Legend, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean, you going 5 deep. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a specific package for you guys to take advantage of. Because I'm like, because what it's gonna but you know what though? Listen, I think, damn, who said this? Somebody said this. It was either on the last podcast we did or the one before that. It was literally, they was like, yo, like they're gonna have to enhance your viewer experience. And you know what? It wasn't for a live fight. It was like for the pay-per-view. Somebody put in the comment section, they was like, yo, like, if you're going to be charging $70, $80 for the pay-per-view, I want it to be like all access. I want you showing the stuff going on in the back. I want you showing the hands getting wrapped, interviews, conversations, all of that. Like, I want my pay-per-view experience to be like all access, like live, you know, through the fights. And I was like, damn, I was just like, you might be getting to that point to where people just want all that. So if Broner's if he's at the exclusive bar in the back and he getting ripped we want to see that shit on camera.
You know what I need? I think would advance it more, especially with this day and era, is for them to literally answer questions from the paying pay-per-view fan from home. The way, they connected with, I don't know how they do it, through the gram or something like that or whatever. I think like the other guy said from the last podcast, that's a good niche. That more engaging people. And then, okay, I get in there. I could get to say, ask a valid question or something I was interested in. But, obviously they might screen these questions to make sure they, you know what I'm saying, ain't no stupid shit. But yeah, listen, I think that's another great move to go.
Why not have a situation where, all right, Legend's going there with his peoples, right? Like, even they do this even at like basketball games or football games, like certain basketball, football games, like you get a nice little care package or something. You might get a signed poster, something like that, or some type of memorabilia, something like that. Like,
no, who getting something? The people that's probably the upfront people, they'll probably get something like that, like the entertainers that may come. I think they get gifts for coming.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the problem, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're not taking care of the true paying fans.
You're not paying it is like when. So I don't know if I'm like, but I don't know yet. But I know Legend and his people are going. When Legend and his people leave that arena, outside of the experience, you have nothing else. Like, you have nothing else. Like, it's literally when fighters do meet and greets, they sign posters, like whatever memorabilia they have, they sign it. And I'm like, you don't have anything from the fights to say, hey, I got this poster from this fight. I got this memorabilia from this fight. I was able to do this after it's gonna get to a point now where it's like your ticket is gonna have to be attached to an after party. Like, it's gonna get that serious.
Smart too, where these fighters, another promotional idea, just right off the top of my head, pre-signed tickets. Pre-signed tickets, like literally get a stamp, but do something. Give these people something to be like, yo, I'm not gonna throw that ticket stub away. Oh boy, I got Tank signature on it, even if it's a stamp or whatever. Do something that it's just more engaging with the paying community, bro. The first
numbers will do better, people. Bro. Yeah, you can have it where like anybody that buys a lower level seat gets a signed poster from this person, that person. There's gonna have to be more.
Take care of your nosebleed seat, folks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, straight up, because I might, if y'all not. Yeah, like since I'm saying, like you gotta make sure. But see, this is why the people that sit in them seats, this is why they gonna move down to the lower level. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you got a bunch. You gotta like, it's just the way of the world. Like, companies take care of the new customer and don't take care of the existing. Like cell phone companies, like it's crazy. I'm like, this brand new person about to get this deal. I've been rocking with you for 5 years. You ain't giving me nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad it is. Let me run through these last couple questions. Get up out this joint. Go said, whenever you go to someone's hometown, you'll get a bad card in there somewhere. It's just boxing business. Happened to Demetrius in Germany. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But that's just, like you said, it's boxing business. Go said Rashidi got something special planned. He looking to make a statement. He fighting a KO artist, expect a KO, and be calling out Boots right after. I agree with that as well. They are lining things up for Boots and Rashidi if Boots doesn't get the fight that he wants. So this is part of the reason why both guys are on the card. Go said Hector came off the couch that Cobra fight. He was out of shape and did that. Give him 5-week notice. He would have slept him. I agree with that. The fact that he came off the couch and did that to Colbert says a lot. You know what I'm saying? It definitely says a lot. But the thing is, though, I hate to put this out there, but if you fresh off the couch, you ain't getting no real drug testing like that fresh off the couch. I'm just keeping it back. I'm keeping it always solid. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting that same type of thing. And in boxing, you always have to. I'm not saying that he's done that, but you gotta think about it as like Cobra's been in the ring with the who's who, and somebody off the couch he can't handle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
so
I'm gonna say this for dude. He was bigger than Colbert. From what I understand, it was a little bit of some some personal things going on with the Bull Colbert at the time, management wise, things like that. So a lot of that stuff affects you. I mean, what happened with the boy T.O. when he had this personal stuff happen, he lost his belt. So things I think don't give fight that consideration to fighters. We just expect them to perform at top peak. And then when things is going wrong and then it's piling on you and you're actually in the fight, he had no response, just like he went into survival mode. So I just think it just was a bad time for him. You know what I mean? Like the stars didn't line up. Like he had bigger aspirations and things like that. And I don't know, bro. These fighters do that. That shit happens to these fighters.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, and that's the one thing with athletes. They, people don't care if you 40%, 50%, or 90%. They want to see 100% on that day. Like, you know what I mean? Steven said Broner is talented. He loses lots of weight, so his fights are hot and cold because of the crash diets. But I think he beat Pac-Man. I'm not sure what he has left at this stage. I think with Broner, if you notice, they never mentioned the weight of the fight. I think they kind of keeping that open-ended, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight is like north of like 150. I'm just being honest. I would not be surprised if this fight is between 148 and 150. I just don't see it. I don't see a logical reason why they would make Broner go down to 40 for Red Cash. They would make Red Cash come up for Broner versus Broner having to lose all that weight. Don't be surprised if this fight is at like 150. Don't be surprised.
If it's a big, I ain't gonna lie. If it's a fight where Red Cash can put some weight on, that's advantage Red Cash to me.
I agree. Red Cash.
That's advantage Red Cash. That means he'll be able to take. He'll have that cushion to take some of whatever power Broner got left. May be able to stand in front of him and try to get off a little bit. You know what I mean? Because he feel like he got some weight behind him. He can anchor it down. I think that's an interesting fight. I don't say it's easy Broner victory to me.
I don't think any. I don't think. I don't think any fight.
Yeah,
I don't think any fight Broner's in is an easy fight, and it's not. And you could be the biggest Broner fan in the world. It's just what he's the quality of work that he's shown you over the past couple years. You can't say any fight is an easy fight. You know what I mean? I agree with that 100%.
That's a dude that let his outside of the ring stuff affect his performance. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like when you're doing all of that he's been doing, like I haven't seen him recently, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow him too much, but I haven't heard much antics from him. So I think that's a good thing, but I don't know if that equates to him being the old Broner, obviously, because he ain't the old Broner. He's an older Broner. So, and then not the best shape. Man, bro,
I think
best of luck to him. I'm betting on Red Cash. I ain't gonna lie.
I think with Broner, if you, and it's crazy, and you don't know if you got to put it on the trainers or you got to put it on Broner. Think about it. What has Broner actually improved on in terms of his game? The way he fights now is the same way he fought in fight 10. Same exact style, same exact punch combinations, same exact, transitions, defense to offense, offense to defense. That same jab, lean back, check left hook. Like he's been doing this. He's never added to his game, and I'm like, he's had the who's who of trainers. He got Kevin Cunningham right now. You know what I'm saying? He had
Kevin got his hands full with this dude, bro.
Yeah, but the thing
is,
though,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. The best style for Broner currently is to turn and somehow turn himself into a puncher with the weight that he's put on. Because obviously, I don't see the James Toney-esque in him with the upper body movement for defense. Even as a bigger guy, he still was able to have that. Broner's movement was more legs, or you know what I mean, shoulder turning. Like when you heavier, you lose a lot of that agility. And I didn't see much defense from him in his last 2 fights, regardless. Anyway, so he got to turn into somehow an inside guy, come forward, because he already guards that way, hands up a lot of the times anyway. So now go behind that guard, go forward, and turn into, you know, a mini slugger of some essence.
And you know, the thing is, like the old Broner had a nasty inside game. Like if you need a tutorial on inside fighting, go look up round 4. Might have been round 4 against Antonio DeMarco. He went about a whole 2 minutes all inside work, and it was, I mean, textbook. I mean, it was literally, you know the drill they run in the gym where you put one foot in the tire, and you know what I'm saying, and you working on your inside work. Yeah, that's literally what Broner did for 2 minutes.
I think that's the best fight. And that's the best for him win wise, you know, as far as getting these rounds under his belt. Like that movement at this size, it's going to be a detriment if he tries to somehow play the outside game and keep the Matador-esque style.
Broner has one of the better. Old Broner had one of the better inside games I've seen. It's just, to me, he was always taught.
You rely on that now. If you're Kevin Cunningham, that's something I agree. Emphasizing towards the future.
Because look, Broner's not going to give you a consistent jab all the way through the round. The second thing, the thing is, I'm like, if he's sitting in the pocket, I have more confidence in Broner's upper body movement than his legs. So he does need to be closer to his opponent because it's going to force him to throw shots. Like he needs to become an inside catch and shoot guy. He needs to become a catch and shoot guy inside
that's exactly mid-range. What I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's his best. That's his, because especially with Red Cash. Red Cash throws a lot of wide shots. Nothing about his shots is compact. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about his compact. So everything, all that inside, like
you'll smother him. Yeah, you'll almost take what he's good at away and make him try to use the weight the proper way. You see what I'm saying?
He should be able to throw in between Red Cash shots all night long. 1-2s and 1-2-3s and roll out. You know what I'm saying? Half step, full step back. And because Red Cash is not the bigger fighter, like he's not the bigger guy. So he should be able to meet him right in the middle of the ring. And if you got to bump your opponent, y'all got to meet somewhere and y'all just go shoulder to shoulder. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Broner should have a really, really good offensive night if he got anything left in that tank. He should really have a good offensive night against Red Cash, because he's going to leave him with so many opportunities to counterpunch, and Broner should be able to get off in this fight. If he doesn't get off offensively in this fight, I don't care who he fights next. I don't care who he fights next.
That's the thing with Broner, bro. We know he's sandbagged us offensively in minimum the last 2 fights. Giovanni Santiago won, for instance, because once he figured out Santiago didn't have the power to knock him out, he never turned up. You see what I'm saying? Like he in his mind, to me, said, I'm gonna just win this defensively. I'm not gonna let this dude catch me, and I'm not gonna put the foot on the gas, because I thought, to me, he looked winded early in that fight. You see what I'm saying? So his stamina is a big question mark for me coming up in this one. So if I'm Red Cashing them, I'm working on movement.
I'm pushing a piece. I'm
working on movement, making him come after me. I'm hitting him and backing up. I want him coming forward. I'm gonna throw angles on him. Like I'm doing something that's gonna make him more active to win. And then we'll know if he got that in him. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I think Red Cash, he just has to stick to the formula to beat Broner.
Yeah,
Volume, constant work. It don't matter if he's landing or not. Constant volume, constant working.
but
Because
I don't
more
know
than
if that'll
likely,
work because we know Broner gets that edge. See, that's what
but
Santiago did. Santiago put the pressure on Broner, but for
but
some reason it didn't show up on the cards.
but
So
Santiago could have put in
didn't
more work than what he did. It
I ain't
was
gonna
some
lie.
rounds where
Yeah,
some
he
rounds
lost.
where he really,
He kind of eighth, ninth, where he didn't
yeah,
really turn up because he was
yeah.
probably tired. You know
But
what I
the
mean?
thing is, Red Cash gonna work. Red Cash is gonna work. The one thing about him, he's definitely gonna work. But he needs to push the pace. Push the pace, push the pace. That's how you beat Broner. You can beat Broner just off volume and not land a lot of
You think he
shots.
can stop Broner?
Nah, I don't think Broner's chin is
It's
very
decent.
solid. He got
It's
one of the
decent.
better chins in the sport. He got one of the better chins in the sport. For sure. But man, we're gonna close this thing out, man. Hour 50 minutes strong, man. I had all my guys in here, man. Definitely was a fun one, man.
Yeah.
Legend, give them your social media and all that good stuff, good brother. And I'm gonna post all that stuff tonight too, bro.
Yeah, my Instagram is the Legend3347, Facebook Todd Finney, podcast in this corner. I probably will be doing my next slide. Definitely after the tank fight. So I definitely
Okay.
want to cover that card, and probably give my 2022 fighter of the year, stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, well let us know. We'll definitely crash that joint for sure.
Right.
Oh, hold on, Ghost. My bad, bro. He said Hector was injured, had a hard cut. He is just better as a boxer. He is a former Olympian who is very seasoned. No, Hector, listen, man, Hector's a
Now,
solid fighter.
can I say this real quick? When you
Mhm.
say Olympian, I think possible access to assistance.
What you mean?
Because you brought up testing when him being coming right off the couch, testing. Now,
Oh well, yeah. I
when he
mean,
say this guy was, representing his country, he probably got some assistance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
not trying to. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, I when I made that statement, I was just putting that out there as an option. I definitely don't want people to think I was trying to say he was juicing or something like that. Because I mean, it's hard to be
I
juicing
hope he
fresh off the
wasn't, bro.
couch.
I hope,
But the
he
thing
did.
is, I'm like, you like, in your off season, that's when you really doing a lot of the stuff that you're not supposed to be doing because you off season. You cycle off when you on. You know what I'm saying? When you know you got a fight
Well,
coming. If you
season,
coming off the
yeah.
couch. You coming on the couch. Like, that's what I was saying about my guy Cruz. Cruz took a fight less than 10 days notice for a 19-year-old kid. Knew about him for 6 weeks. You understand what I'm saying? And I was just like, you gotta be, you gotta be careful about these things, for sure. But vlog, give me your social media and all that good, brother.
Bro, I'm on the gram, man. Boxing, the #1 STVLOG. I'm back to work this week, so catch me posting this week. I'm back to obviously doing my betting boxing numbers, trying to put together a nice hitter, man. I end up well 2022 betting on boxing. For me personally, lost a lot of big parlays with these fluky one-loss joints. The last one spoke on it earlier with the younger brother from the fighting family. So that being said, man, I'm gonna try to do better. I just looking at this card from the outside real quick, you could probably run a full favorite on this one and do very well. Just depending on how you bet it. Like I said, boxing don't parlay you out the way they do the football parlays and things like that, where you talking like 18-1 and 12-1. Boxing is more like 3-4-1, things like that. So you gotta bet your boxing intelligently if you want to make it financially productive. Because I don't know, nobody can just say, yeah, I got 4,000 to put on a certain favorite to win $100. That doesn't even make any sense. So boxing is definitely a game you got to parlay, and hopefully these favorites do what they supposed to do, or you picking the right underdog in certain fights, and
Or a certain prop bet.
prop bets. Yeah, I ain't been good at
Bets,
that either, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I
yeah,
ain't gonna
prop
lie.
bets. prop
I ain't
bets
gonna
for
lie.
my non-gambling folks. That's an example of a
That's
prop
that's a
bet. It's
good way to
basically,
extend your boxing
um,
odds too.
yeah.
The
So if boots might be,
great prop bet for this card.
yeah.
Great
Let's just say over
over
or
under.
under
Yeah,
4
over under
rounds.
KO. I'm going
Over under
4.
4 rounds.
I'm
You know what I'm
hoping.
saying? Or over
Yeah.
under 3.5 rounds or something like that. That's an example of a prop
Tank,
bet.
Tank is a great prop bet. Is he going to get the KO? Because we don't
But
know if Hector got a chin or not. I haven't
and the
really seen him.
thing, and another thing you could do if you're betting live and Sheedy fighting first, if Sheedy is over under, let's just say 7 rounds or something, you might be like, all right, I think this gonna go over 7. You drop a 40 spot on that, hit that. Then Andre coming up, that over under might be maybe 8 or 9, something like that. You might hit that, so you might be able to individually
The stack
prop
and
bet, and
matriculate
stack them.
your earnings upwards. So yeah, just
Yeah,
another angle to attack. But like I said, man, I'll
absolutely.
be back busy trying to get a folks some numbers and some leans and things like that. But like I said, man, just rock with me and obviously back with the boys and shits often as I can coming
Yeah,
up, depending on what the schedule looking like. But I'm definitely keeping my ear to the streets of boxing because I love it like that. So you
absolutely.
see, I came right in spitting hot fire, and you ain't seen me in a minute. You feel me?
Yeah,
But the mouthpiece ain't went nowhere. I bought it in the 23 with me. You did?
absolutely, man. Y'all can follow me all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, newly acquired TikTok. Everything G5 Jeff TV, man, and we're just gonna start. I know for me personally, I'm just putting a lot of videos up, just in the real type setting, kind of just the old like regular videos and stuff like that. It's just people attention spans is just not, you know what I'm saying, like really, really high. Like people rock with the podcast because they just rock with us, period. But it's getting harder to get somebody to watch a 10-minute, 15-minute joint. You know what I mean? Just a regular video. Like they just want it boom, 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 like to the point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably one of the few people to even touch on FA Ajagba and Stephen Shaw that's going down January 14th. And that's why like a lot of these people that's covering boxing, I'm like, it's really about what do you put out there in the atmosphere. So it's like, like you take the Darnell Boone interview, like we sat on camera and was just like, yo, with so many jewels that Darnell Boone dropped. And it brings up the importance of like, having a proper team in your corner. And there's so many different aspects to boxing. And just when you listen to this podcast and you listen to Vlog, you listen to Legend, you listen to Shane, myself, even the guys in the comment section, everybody's bringing something to the table that's different than what you usually get from the common boxing person that's trying to cover it on a media landscape. So you really get everything that you need following really just the four of us to keep it all the way stacked. So just continue to rock with us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to get the schedule down. Everybody's just moving parts, like, you know what I mean? It ain't the fact that we ain't trying, but it's just a lot of moving parts, that come along with this. So every time we able to get on, it's a blessing at the end of the day, and we got, Ty Finney, you know what I'm saying, part of the team. We got his podcast and eventually Vlog is gonna get back in the mix, and we got to start jumping on his channel and doing things. So it's just a lot of work that got to get done, social media wise, podcast wise, betting on boxing wise. It's just a lot of work that got to get done, but we're gonna get to it. So this is the first podcast of 2023, episode 152 of the Goodfellas podcast. In this corner, definitely gonna announce when the next episode's coming out, man. So on behalf of VP Shane, Ty Finney, aka the Legend, my man Boxing First Vlog, G5 Jeff TV, man. Episode 152. We out.